we always have the choice between love and fear. And I always remind myself to choose love, not fear. Because fear is sometimes so tempting. And it's like sometimes there's this like safe place in fear of like, that's what we know. So it's easier to choose the fear. But choosing the more difficult route, or sometimes the really easy route to go to the root of love, is always key. So we pick it every day.
Exactly. And in choosing love is choosing vulnerability.
Yes.
And vulnerability means that I am at risk of feeling more pain and more discomfort. And if I am incredibly depressed, I don't want to risk going any worse than that. But what we don't know is that when we are choosing fear and choosing to, protect that pain rather than unleash it, it's ultimately doing us more harm than good. And there are certain instances where we do have to, know when to protect ourselves and when to go down the vulnerability path, because sometimes we can open up in a fragile state and that can spiral in a different way. But ultimately, yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying with there's always the path of fear and the path of love. And even the path of love knows when you need to take care of yourself and your vulnerability. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so nuanced. It's not like fear is isolation and love is telling the world like who I really am. Like there's so much nuance to it. And the path of love is a practice. And you don't have to have these great acts of love that you are shifting into after living this path of fear every single day. Like that's, opposite action is great, but like can be practiced on a small scale, because the bigger scale actions are going to be so much harder for us to do, and so much more risk and so much more fear of the vulnerability that's required for love. So lots of nuance going on there.